All right, so the reason why black people are disconnected, and I'm not gonna say all, yeah, let's just use the word some, yeah. So the reason why some black people are disconnected with African and Caribbean countries is simply because if you live in like you have to understand how life works, right? You only focus on like if you think about how you grow up, you're only thinking about your immediate environment. You're not really thinking about anything else. And other than just you just want to have fun. You just want to catch a vibe. You know what I mean? That's what you immediately want. And then the older you get, there's certain things that you want from an individual standpoint. And then you know what I mean? So there's that too, but then there's also the fact of someone not necessarily taught about African and Caribbean history as well, but also those different countries. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, what I find really intriguing is even like I would watch some videos and stuff like that, right? And they highlight basically their reaction, whatever. They kind of highlight they're in America, not calling out anyone, but some of them are so oblivious to what goes on in the UK. If I see it on social media, like Twitter and all stuff like that. Like I remember with the situation with 21 Savage, and then they were doing all these memes, and you know what I mean? Like they're thinking all we do in the UK in London is drink tea and crumpets and stuff like that, and that's because the reason why they think that, yeah, that's not necessarily their fault. It's the fact of that's what's been promoted. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what's been programmed. And it's the same thing with how they view Africa. This is why I respect Wadamaya a lot, yeah? And Miss Trudy. Yeah, I respect them too a lot. And there's someone else that does something similar as well. Like I respect them. And the reason why is because what they've done is that they're now showcasing Africa in the way that it needs to be represented. Do you see what I'm saying? Like we live good over here too. Don't get it twisted. There's some problems that need to be resolved too. But just like any other country, yeah, outside of Africa and outside of the Caribbean, what happens is there's a situation where you got the good side and you also got the bad side. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's like you have to understand the situation at hand here is like I want to break down how education is very, very, very important. Learning, like every black person needs to learn exactly their history when it comes to African and Caribbean countries and stuff like that. They need to learn that. In fact, if every human, forget just black people, every human, yeah, and that will then put especially black people in a situation where they do feel connected, and it has to be something personal. Let's be real here, because it's interesting with me personally growing up. Yeah, I learned about Black history and stuff like that, but I learned from a different standpoint. I learned because of I learned about other things such as Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and that stuff there because of my foster mom and her taking me to, according to my social care fathers, Afrocentric Saturday school, whatever. And then on top of that, I had my biological mother when saw her during term time and that, and even my dad, my biological dad, like separately, they would teach me about my roots. Do you see what I mean? But I didn't really clock really what was really going on. Like it just seemed normal to me. You know what I mean? That's just normal to me, or what they're. You know what I mean? So that installed a level of pride and knowing where I come from as well. So the fact that, especially knowing where I come from, I have this sense greater pride. I want to find out more and be more connected. Do you see what I mean? That's why one of the reasons why I started the 2F, partly started the 2FA podcast with my co-host, is because I want to contribute. Do you see what I mean? On a different level. Yeah, I've got the Thealkebulantrust, and that's for African and Caribbean situation. But as far as the Igbo culture, I got that. You see what I mean? I got that podcast. And then I want to do something else from the other tribe that I'm from as well. But we'll get there. You see what I mean? We'll get there and get there. But the point I'm trying to make is it takes something personal. So this is why if you find out exactly what your roots are, you're gonna want to find out more. It's like, okay. And then you're like, it just triggers to do certain things. It gives you that sense of pride to be like, or the sense of confidence to be like, okay, I want to connect more. You see what I mean? And then when you connect more, it's a situation where you're like, all right, cool. Let me see, what I can do in terms of if there's any problems that need to be resolved. You'll find a way to resolve the problem. Do you see what I mean? It's I don't know how to explain it. It's just a level of pride or level of situational mentality that gets you to that, for you to feel connected. But when you're taught from an early age, and you're not really taught in your immediate environment how I was taught, you're gonna end up feeling disconnected. And at the same time, I'll be real with you, even though I do feel connected with one of the tribes that I'm from, like at some point there are some cases where I do feel disconnected. Now at some point with the other tribe I'm from, I I feel disconnected. I can't lie to you. I feel disconnected because I don't know too much. Yeah, but when I do find out more information, I'm going to feel more connected. The more info you learn, and the more info I personally learn, I'm going to feel more connected. You see what I mean? So that's that. All right. So this is what I recommend. That if you click the link in the description box below where it says become a member of the Thealkebulantrust, you get access to online courses such as African and Caribbean history, and that's where we're going to learn more information in regards to that, but plus learn how to truly, find out your real roots. Yeah. I know you want to take that ancestry test or whatever, but just remember this. I'm gonna do a separate video on this though, but just remember this. Most of these African and Caribbean countries, they're less than 100 years old. Most of them were formed, especially Nigeria, was formed by the colonizers in 1897. So, and the thing about African countries as well is it's about tribes, not necessarily about country. And tribes is a major thing. But we'll get into that in a different video. But anyway, you got anything else for me to react to or do a review on, do a video on? Leave that in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, because you never know, the video you suggest might just be next.